Welcome back to Coach's Corner, and it is time, as we mentioned, for basketball with Coach Fincher. And now we have our 10th year head basketball coach, Alan Hibler, on the boys' side. We get a new coach, and I'm not going to say an old coach, but a veteran coach. Coach Fincher, he brings a little enthusiasm to the old program, doesn't he?
Yeah, he does. He's really fired up.
He's kind of a small town guy like you, too.
So. Yeah, he came from a small town
yeah,
and everything. So it's his first time in 6A. So it'd be an interesting first trip through for him. It always is.
I don't know whether he asked you about any advice, but if he did, I'm sure you can give him some advice about going from a smaller school to a bigger school.
Yeah, there are definitely some changes. Travel's one of the big issues. Arranging to, try to keep the kids fresh and things. So, there's just a lot of components that go into it, and thank goodness we get to open here at home to begin with. So that's kind of a change. I think it's been a long time since we've had a home opener to start the season that I can remember.
I enjoy this time of year because my old buddy Alan Hibler here, we've been doing this a long time on radio and TV, 10 years worth. I was trying to think how old that would make. Cole would have been in about 4th or 5th grade when you came here, and he's already playing college basketball and doing very well. So you have seen a lot of highs and lows at Pohai, haven't you?
I have. We've been through a lot in 10 years. I mean, we've had a lot of great moments and a lot of not so great moments that I try to forget. And as you get a little older, it's easier to forget those things. I don't know if it's just the memory going or what, but it's always fun to start a new year and look forward to new challenges and things. So, hopefully, this year we'll write another page in the history book and see where it takes us.
You will start a new year with a lot of players which our fans have not seen a lot of. You got a couple of returning starters, but the quality and the progress of this program probably is going to be from players that hopefully we'll see in the future, but they're going to have to perform early on.
Well, yeah, we're going to have a lot of young players on the court that, they're just unproven at the varsity level. I mean, they played a lot of JV basketball and things, but now they're being asked to step under the bright lights in the varsity game, and it's really curious to see how they're going to react when that takes place. They're going to have to play a significant role this year. I mean, we've got 2 returning starters, as you mentioned, that we're going to rely on early, but we're going to have some help from somewhere, and it's going to be interesting to see how these kids develop as we go through. We're not very far into practice. We're actually at practice today. Will be practice 40 since we've started, but that was in October. We're at like practice 15 with the entire team there right now. So, we're not where we need to be, and we're not where we're going to be when we get further down the line. There's a lot to try to squeeze in. I mean, 15 practices seems like a lot of practices, but when you start talking zone offense, man offense, press offense, set plays, out of bounds plays, different defenses and things, 15 days goes by really, really fast. And we're hopefully we've been able to get film on Woodward, our first opponent, and we got a good idea of what they're going to put on the floor offensively and defensively. So we've been able to work on those things through the last week, and we'll get one more day of preparation today. But we still got some things we've got to add, and we're just trying to do it little by little. So, sometimes it can be overwhelming, especially for these young guys that are coming into the program and, haven't been through there. And, the grind is different at the varsity level than it is the junior varsity level. So they're going to have to adapt to that and things. And, there's just tons and tons of repetition that we need to take care of at this time of the year as we're trying to put everything in, trying to practice it and develop it and things. So it's really been interesting the first part of the year here.
Well, the good news is we open at home, and the other interesting part of this is that if my memory is it's not very good, but it seems like we went there last year early, and we had a wild overtime, back and forth type of ball game where we came from 10 points down late. So Woodward will put a very good team on the court.
They'll be very good. They've got a 6'8" kid in the middle. They have a really good guard returning. Rumor on the street has it that he's injured right now. We don't know. Supposedly he got injured on Friday night in a ball game with Weatherford. Not sure if he's going to play or not. won't know till they start warm-ups and whether he's on the court or not. Don't know what kind of the injury it is or anything, but they're going to be very well disciplined. I mean, they're not very far removed from being in the Class 4A state tournament, and very good team last year. They sent a kid to Southern Nazarene University, so it'll definitely be a challenge. And we're going to have a lot of new faces on the court. As of right now, with not being able to be in game situations and things, scrimmages aren't like games. I mean, they're great practices because we get to go against somebody else, but we don't know for sure how our rotation's going to end up working out. How many minutes each kid's going to play and different things. So that's going to be a filling out process as we go here. Unlike some of the past years, like last year, we had a number of returning starters and we kind of knew how things were going to play out. This year we don't. I mean, we've got a lot of kids that are battling for playing time, battling for positions on the team right now and things. So it's going to be interesting as we go through the end of this first semester and we get into Christmas break and get some more practices under our belts. We're going to get really busy here this week. We've got 4 games this week.
Coach, could you give me a comment on the Hera tournament Thursday, Friday, and Saturday?
Well, once again, it's a very good tournament. It's got some very good teams in it. We're going to open with El Reno again, which I want to say this may be the 3rd year in a row that we've opened with El Reno. They're number 7 in Class 5A. They scored 86 points the other night against Piedmont, which is a lot of points. But it's a very good team. They've got a great program down there, so hopefully we can get through Tuesday night, we can play well and come out unscathed, not have anybody injured or anything, and then we'll get ready to get on the bus and go to Hera and spend 3 days and play a very tough El Reno team in the first round on Thursday night at 5:30. We'll definitely have our hands full. We'll have to play extremely well against those guys. Coach Hayden there at El Reno does a great job. He'll have them well prepared, and they're in a little better boat. They had that first game of the year last Tuesday, and then they were off for 4 days. They didn't play Friday. They're going to play again this Tuesday before the Hera tournament. But there's such a big difference between that first game and that second game, and they got 4 days of practice in to go back and correct all these errors that they had in the first game. And in our situation, we're going to get 1 day of practice, and it's going to have to be very short because we're going to play a game, be up late Tuesday night, have a practice Wednesday, get on a bus midday on Thursday, and play 7:30 again that night. So, especially this early in the season with 4 games in this first week, legs and conditioning are definitely a concern. But, I think we have some depth and we can have some kids play minutes here and there where we can rest some kids. But, we'll find out as it goes and develops.
Coach, appreciate your time. The Ponca City boys basketball coach Alan Hibler on this week's Coach's Corner.